I arrived at my sister's wedding with a quiet smile, holding the small envelope of her gift in my hand. It was supposed to be a beautiful day, a celebration of family, love, and togetherness. But from the moment I walked in, I felt it. Eyes on me. Whispers. A strange tension that settled like fog. When I reached the dining hall, I saw it. Every seat was neatly arranged with name cards, except one. Mine. The table where my family sat had a perfectly empty chair, as if I didn't exist. Mom looked away. Dad sipped his drink. My sister, radiant in her white dress, avoided my gaze. The laughter around the table grew louder, and someone, probably one of my uncles, said just loud enough for me to hear, "Guess some people don't belong here after all." The laughter stung, but I didn't let it show. I placed her gift on the corner table and walked out to the garden. Alone, I watched the lights shimmer against the night sky, the music echoing faintly behind me. I thought about all the times I had supported her, covering her bills, staying up late, helping with her studies, defending her when our parents scolded her. And now, on her biggest day, they couldn't even save me a seat. But I wasn't angry. Not yet. I was calm in a way that scared even me, because deep down, I knew something they didn't. I had a choice, either leave quietly as the forgotten one, or remind them who I'd become. And that night, under the golden wedding lights, I decided they would never laugh at me again. The shock almost equals sign. I stood in the garden for a long time, staring at the lights strung between trees. Inside, the laughter grew louder. Every few minutes, someone called my sister's name, the crowd cheering, glasses clinking. From where I stood, I could see my family through the glass. They looked so proud, so comfortable, like nothing was missing. Like I wasn't even a part of them. I had a choice. Leave quietly and let them win, or walk back in and show them who they'd chosen to mock. I took a deep breath, straightened my jacket, and went back inside. The band had started playing my sister's favorite song. She was on the dance floor with her husband, surrounded by flashing cameras and smiling faces. The perfect picture. Until she saw me. Her smile faltered for just a second. I walked straight to the front, ignoring the stares, the whispers, the uncomfortable shifting in chairs. I picked up the microphone from the stage corner. The band stopped playing. The entire room went still. Before the next dance, I said, "I just want to say a few words for my sister." Someone chuckled nervously, probably expecting a toast that would fade into the noise. But my voice didn't tremble. It was steady, cold, even. "I wasn't given a seat tonight," I continued. "Maybe it was a mistake. Or maybe it wasn't. Either way, I'm thankful." People began to exchange glances. My mother looked like she wanted to stand, but my father grabbed her arm. "I'm thankful," I said again, "because sometimes being left out shows you exactly where you stand. And once you know that, you stop begging for a place." The hall was silent. Even the waiters froze. I turned toward my sister. "You remember the night you called me crying because your tuition was due and Dad refused to pay? Who helped you then?" Her face went pale. "Who helped you get your first job interview when you said you weren't good enough? Who stayed up making your resume, helping you practice answers?" A murmur swept through the crowd. My aunt tried to smile, awkwardly. "Maybe now isn't." "No," I said, cutting her off gently but firmly. "It's exactly the right time." I looked back at my sister. "I was proud of you. I really was. But tonight, you made sure I'd never forget my place in this family. So let me remind you of something. Too." I reached into my pocket and pulled out a folded envelope, the same one I'd planned to give her quietly earlier. "This," I said, holding it up, "is the check I was going to gift you as a start to your new life. I saved for months to make it happen. Gasps echoed across the room. My mother's eyes widened. But I said calmly, tearing the envelope in half, "You won't need it, because love given out of pity or expectation isn't love, it's debt. And I don't owe this family anything anymore." The room went dead silent. Even the music system hummed quietly in the background, as if the walls themselves were holding their breath. My father finally stood. "That's enough," he said, his voice shaking with anger. "You're embarrassing yourself." I smiled slightly. "No, Dad. I was embarrassed long before tonight, but not anymore." Then I turned to the guests, many of whom were staring with wide eyes, some uncomfortable, some oddly impressed. "Enjoy the wedding," I said. "Really? I hope it's a good one." And with that, I walked out. Outside, the air was cold but sharp with clarity. Snow had begun to fall lightly, soft flakes catching the glow from the reception lights. I stood there for a moment, feeling the quiet settle around me. My heart wasn't pounding anymore. I wasn't angry. I was free. Behind me, I could hear faint shouting, my mom calling my name, my dad muttering something under his breath. But I didn't turn around. For the first time, I didn't care what they thought. I didn't crave their approval. I had carried this family for years, financially, emotionally, silently, and they had mistaken my silence for weakness. Tonight, I'd reminded them that kindness isn't the same as submission. As I walked to my car, I caught my reflection in the window. The same person, but not really. Something inside me had shifted. I wasn't the invisible sibling anymore. I was the one who walked away with peace when they expected humiliation. And that, I realized, was the most shocking thing of all. The next morning, my phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Dozens of missed calls. Messages from relatives. My mother's voice notes. Each one starting with anger and ending with tears. And one short text from my sister, "I'm sorry. Please talk to me." I didn't reply. Not because I wanted to hurt them, but because I finally felt calm. My silence wasn't rebellion anymore. It was peace. 3 days later, my sister showed up at my apartment. No make-up, no entourage, no pretense. Just her. She stood at the door, holding a photo in her hand. "I brought you this," she said softly. It was from the wedding. A photo of the family table, with that one empty seat. My seat. "I didn't notice it that night," she said, eyes glistening. "But now I can't stop seeing it." I took a long breath, then smiled faintly. "Good. Don't forget it. That chair taught me more about people than any words ever could." Tears rolled down her cheeks. I was proud that night, but also scared. I wanted everyone's approval so badly that I forgot yours was the only one that ever mattered. We talked for hours. No shouting, no guilt, just truth. When she left, she hugged me tightly, whispering, "Thank you for showing me what respect really means." Later, I stood by the window, watching snow fall softly outside. It reminded me of that night, but it didn't feel cold anymore. It felt clean, like the world had reset. That empty chair no longer hurt me. It freed me, because that night, when they left me out, I finally found myself. If this story touched you, share it with someone who's ever been made to feel invisible. Remind them their worth doesn't depend on anyone's approval. Sometimes walking away isn't weakness. It's how you reclaim your power.